land classification that you need to know, either as a prospective land buyer, investor, or experienced investor. Gotten several messages from clients and prospects who tends to make confirmation about genuinity of one or two land properties they came across online. So that made me to shoot this short clip on land classification and two categories of land that all real estate investors and buyers need to know. Kindly subscribe to this channel and turn your notification on in order to be getting subsequent videos on real estate matters and land documentation. I welcome you to Mayowa Property Consults, where we'll be discussing about land matters, land titles, documents, and verification for both profitable investment and investment security. Two categories of lands: one, free land, and second, acquired land. Free land, as the name implies, it means the land is free and no one has laid ownership on such land, and it can be used for any purpose, either residential, commercial, agriculture, or other purposes that is aligned with the local regulation in that axis or the location where it's situated. The second one, acquired land. So it means the land is acquired, and most lands belong to the government according to the Land Use Act of 1978. It means all lands belong to the state government and have rights to make use of it and to release some parts. So acquired land also, as the name implies, it means the land is not free and government have interest in it. Free land can be bought by individual or corporate organization, while most acquired land are owned by the government with government interest in. Under this acquired land, we have subcategories, that is two types of acquisition, in which one is general acquisition and the second one is committed acquisition. General acquisition, it means it falls under the General Land Use Act of 1978, in which the state government owns the portion and also can decide to release it to whosoever she wishes to. While for the committed acquisition, it means government have committed interest on such land for either public use, infrastructures, roads, and others in order to develop that state. Committed acquisition can never be bought, and if someone buy it unknowingly, the person's property is not safe, same as his investment capital. So that's where the buyers or clients assignment comes in, that is making your own due diligence before purchasing any land or any properties. While general acquisition can be free or released by the government via two process, that is via ratification or excision, and via the ratification one can as well apply for government allocation, and via the excision one can as well apply for it to be excised, and once excised, that's not the last stage. One must still move on to gazette the excised portion. These terms will be breaking down for your benefit and for your understanding. So let's start from the general acquisition. So as I explained, general acquisition once again means the land still fall under the General Land Use Act of 1978, in which is still owned by the government, but still under a care, in which it can be released for whoever government wishes via proper channel or via proper application that is called ratification or excision. Ratification means making an agreement officially via signing and application, meaning one can process ratification of a land via the application and the government will make the signing official with government approval for it. And once that is done, you can also get your government allocation or certificate for such land. And once you got the government allocation as well, you can then make use of your land. So that's for ratification, in which general acquisition land can as well be released or be freed. So for the second process known as excision, this is common in Lagos. Yes, it's common in Lagos. Most especially Ibejuleki axis and Ekpe axis, same as few of other areas in Lagos like Ikorodu, Bogije, Sengotedu, Abijo, Jari, Ekuakete, and the rest. So, excision simply means taking part or releasing parts of the whole portion. For example, now, let's say the general acquisition land is total 40 hectares. So, and then all are in the care of the state government. So, a community in that same village or the notable families or the traditional rulers in that community can as well apply for excision, in which once the governments go through their application and then the releasing of 10 hectares out of the 40 hectares being acquired by the state government is known as excision. That is, they release parts of the formerly acquired portion for the community or for the rulers or for some families to make use of for both residential and commercial. By the other portion of 30 hectares is still committed and owned by the government. Hope that is clear enough. So excision can be applied for as well by the indigenous owners that have the right ownership to such land or who have history in that particular village or community. And then once excised, there will be a time or one will still move on for it to be gazetted. Once excised land gazetted, one can then start building in that particular land, but it also takes time for excision land to be gazetted by the state government. The difference between both acquisition is that general acquisition is still fair and can be ratified via application and some processing with some charges, while for the committed acquisition it can't be ratified and it can't be sold by anybody. And whoever that buys such don't have his or her property secured and it is not advisable. So that's it. Unknowingly to many, there are several free land space everywhere at strategic locations across cities and states, in which some might think this land is free and I can pay for it. Unknowingly to them, the land might be acquired and committed. So this is where due diligence is necessary and important for any land buyer by involving professionals, most especially land surveyor and one's lawyer, to make their own research and their own assignments. So that's it, and it's better for one to involve both parties, specifically land surveyors, in order to save yourself losing millions of naira, because most people has been duped for land purchase that is not free, and it's better for one to do his or her own assignment, being a prospective buyer or investor in real estate property. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have questions, don't hesitate to drop your comments below or contact us via the number showing on the screen. Once again, thank you, and you are welcome to Omayowa Property Consults, where land matters, real estate updates, markets, reports, documentation, and others for both profitable investment and investment security will be discussed. Stay tuned and turn your notification bell for subsequent videos.